Diversity and inclusion for me is a pretty wide topic. I mean, there's many things you can bring in to that. And I think it's very important that we make sure that we're intersectional about what we do in the space. That by that, I mean, we need to have all of the different areas in diversity working together, helping each other. Because I think that's a way that we can definitely make a change. In the sports world, I think we're on track. We're talking about it a lot. It's in a lot of conversations, but I think there's still much more action that could have happened. And I believe there are things happening in the background, don't get me wrong, but I think it needs to come to the forefront, and we need to make sure that we see these actions, that we know that things are changing. There's plenty of things that we can look at, many things we can have solutions for, instead of just excluding people. We need to keep that inclusion part of diversity and inclusion in there, and actually flip it around. Maybe it should be inclusion and diversity instead of diversity and inclusion. Be yourself. I mean, in any way, it's very hard to just say, just be yourself, right? How am I myself? How do I go about my work? How do I go about my daily life? We all have different faces, even if we think we don't. I go into the office and I might be slightly different to what I am with my friends, or actually I'm even different to how I was at the International Hockey Federation compared to what I am now at Philip Morris. So yes, you can say be yourself, but there's actually, the real question is how to be yourself. And I think you can only be like that when you're comfortable with everything, comfortable what's around you, comfortable with what you're doing, with your goal in life. And if you're matching that goal, if you're actually walking the talk, I think it's also very important in how you can be yourself. For me, it's taken a long time to truly be myself, even though I came out as gay when I was very young, when I was 21. I knew I was an athlete, all of these things, but I was also a different person on the pitch compared to when I was off the pitch. But now, after all that experience and years of different careers, I think finally I'm being true to myself all the time. And I think that's coming very much true in the work I'm doing with diversity and inclusion, because that's really what I am. Well, for me, I think as I said earlier, we are getting there, but there's plenty more work to be done. I think we need more women in leadership position, and this is not just in sport. We've seen this especially over the last year during COVID times, that many female leaders have been very much, in the forefront of decisions and making good decisions for their countries. So I think we can do the same in sport. So the future and the vision for women working in sport is to have more leaders and senior leaders and visible leaders, not just at a certain level where they get stuck. So we need to break through that glass barrier, and make sure that women are at the top of positions that can make changes and do the right thing for sport. They should host the games, because I think for me, it's very close to my heart, the country Spain, but also Valencia in particular. It's where I met my partner. So we've got it very close to our hearts, and I think it's a beautiful city, somewhere that many people have not been yet. So I think it's a really great city for everything, for arts, for culture, for sport. It's by the beach. It's really quite a great place, lots of history as well. But yeah, I became an ambassador because they reached out to me over LinkedIn, actually, through some connections, and I told them the story, and they said, wow, you have to be our ambassador, being so close to the country and the city in particular. So yeah, that's how that happened. And I think all I'm doing is trying to promote them a little bit, trying to back them, give them some advice when I can, especially from my experience in the sports world, working in digital, social media, and trying to give them some advice where I can. So that's where I stand on that. And the gay games in general, I mean, it's an interesting one. Many people might think why we need to have it, but there's many reasons why we need to have it, and there's many reasons why it came about in the first place. So I would encourage you to go and have a look at what it's about. It's about inclusion. So basically anyone can join. And in fact, they say that 10% of the participants are actually not gay or not part of the community or not even transgender, not intersex, nothing. They are from heterosexual community. So basically it's for everyone. Anyone can be there, and I think that's the beauty of it.